You have a hole that you just drilled like this that has a big burr on it, but you don't have a countersink or a deburring tool. I'll show you a little simple but effective trick and tool on how to get rid of that burr and turn it into something a little nice. What's up everybody, Chris Wojnarski. We're back again with a little Fab Tip Friday or cool tool. Actually it'd be Tip Tuesday or something like that, but we're going to show you how to deburr some holes, and I might have showed you this in another video, but we're going to show it again. So I got all these parts that I just drilled, and if you don't have a countersink bit or the right size one, or sometimes it's not sharp or not cutting that good, I had to drill like a 5/16 hole in it, and got always a nice jagged edge, and one side's not as bad. But instead of this one, probably wouldn't work for that. That's a big one. That's like a really good one. I got a couple other ones in there. Somewhere in here, I got my little secret stash of bits that I hide so I don't get all, people don't dole them out on me. But I got a little variety of them. But got that one, a couple small, medium, large one. But if you don't want to use that, or they're not cutting that good, or they're not sharp, we'll show you a different way. Now it's simple, but sometimes it's easier on the drill press. Sometimes you could do it by hand with a regular drill, hand drill, like that over there. So, and then on what size hole that you drilled, you can just use a regular drill bit. Just make sure it's kind of sharp. And over here, this is all our drill bits that are 1/2 inch and bigger. Regular drill bits, that's our hole saws. But if you got like something pretty sharp like that, so that was a 5/16 hole. Most people have regular drill bits set like this. It goes up to about 1/2 of an inch. Now a 1/2 inch drill bit may not be big enough for that. It might be, but I prefer to use something a little bigger. So we got to go over to our bigger set. And I think I got out a 11/16, but whatever's pretty sharp. That was a little big. I did them all and wasn't as good. So I think if I would have went, or I think if I would have went a little bigger, like 3/4, would have worked a little better. But I'm happy with our things. Just got to be deburred. So I believe I used the 11/16 bit, but with us, we have a nice drill bit sharpener over here that sharpens from small drill bits all the way up to 3/4 of an inch. So if we need to sharpen it, it's really easy. That's one thing I really suggest everybody learn how to do, is either get a drill bit sharpener. You don't have to get one like that. They make one for bench grinder, and they're like $50 or something like that, and a little attachment, and you can have a designated bench grinder that's just for sharpening drill bits or something. Or learn how to do it by hand on a bench grinder, and you'll be pretty good. I could do it a little bit by hand. I'm not that good. I don't practice that much because we have that over there. But us sharpening our drill bits, I don't think we really buy drill bits that often, honestly. Like sometimes we'll lose them, or the smaller ones that are like a 1/4 inch and under will a little harder to sharpen. But learn how to sharpen your drill bits. That's a key thing if you're a welder fabricator. I highly suggest that. But that wasn't my tip for the thing, but that'll be a tip, extra tip, and I'm not the guy to show you that. So maybe we'll make another video doing that, or showing you, or just Google YouTube another video. I'm sure there's plenty out there, but good tip for everybody to learn that. But anyway, back to it. We want to go a little big, but not too big, and that did it pretty good. You can see it's a little jaggedy. That was kind of me too, putting a little pressure on too much. But I think if I would have went a little bigger or smaller, depends. You got to find your sweet spot, and you'll get right in there. But it's works perfect. Like you just put it right in like that, and you can hold it by hand or whatever you want to do. Go slow on your drill press if you're doing it, and right like that, just like that. Pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. I think if I would clamp it down a little better so it doesn't move as much, it would probably be a little better. But for what it is, it's going to get powder coated, and once the bolt's on there, it's never going to get seen. But that was a little too aggressive. But like that right there, it's not bad at all. Like, I'm happy with that. So that's your little tip right there, that you don't always need a countersink bit, and depending on what your metal is, sometimes aluminum's easier, stainless is harder to do it with, and these bits are kind of expensive, where a drill bit, especially if you know how to sharpen it, is a lot cheaper. And I honestly find myself using a drill bit more than a countersink bit most of the time for deburring parts like that. So just me, and we don't have a big variety of countersink bits, maybe that's why too, but good tip for everybody. And maybe that'll, if you don't know it already, then maybe that'll teach you something. If you know it, you know it, and you probably won't want to watch the video, but a little tip for you. And one more thing to add: if you have a drill press and you have a nice set of jaws on your drill press, I highly suggest, if you can, milling a little slot in it like that. If you could see that, it's like maybe like an 1/8 to 3/16 down and 3/16 over, and doing the same thing on this thing. That way just makes drilling holes so much easier to put your part in, and clamping it down like that, then this would be a lot harder to clamp down and drill, where these drill presses over here, that's more of a mill drill, but you could still do it with a regular set of jaws. Like, here's a little one, and that one doesn't have one, but you can easily mill a little slot into these jaws, or make a new set of jaws or something. So little tip for you, extra little tip, but that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little video, a little shorter, little extra tip for you guys. We'll unleash this thing. I got one this week, but sometime this week, next week. And a little nippier now in Florida, about 54 degrees for like January, what are we, January 7th. And working on some other videos for you. I got a bunch more to get done. I really want to get the table video done for you, but it's 14 hours long. I think I said that in my last video or something. 14 hours long to edit that video. I just recorded the whole thing, where most of my videos are about an hour to 2 hours, and I edit it down to about 10, 20, 30 minutes or something like that. So I was a little bummed out when I seen how long that was, because I really wanted to get this video out before New Year's, but it's a little longer. But anyway, stopping the rambling, little tech tip for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you do, subscribe, give me a like and a comment if you know it or not, and if it helped or if it didn't help, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Chris Wojnarski, over and out. We got one little extra thing to add too, is once you're done drilling, be courteous and sweep up your drill press and the floor area and everything for the next person or yourself. That way you always have a nice clean area, and just a lot nicer. So if you like a clean area and work environment, little tip for you too.